The story starts in 1823 as the older Antonio Salieri endeavors self-destruction by cutting his throat while noisily asking mercy for having killed Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart in 1791. Set in a neurotic shelter for the activity, Salieri is visited by a youthful minister who looks to take his admission. Salieri is gloomy and uninterested, however in the end warms to the cleric and dispatches into a long admission about his relationship with Mozart. Salieri's story happens as the night progressed and into the following stay chaste as a penance in the event that he can some way or another dedicate his life to music. He depicts how his dad's arrangements for him were to go into trade, yet recommends that the unexpected passing of his dad, who stifled to death during a dinner, was a wonder that permitted him to seek of performers. Salieri starts his vocation as a dedicated, God-dreading man who accepts his prosperity and ability as a writer or God's prizes for his devotion. He is content as the court writer for blessed Roman sovereign Joseph II. Mozart shows up in Vienna with his supporter, Count Hieronymus von Colloredo, the sovereign ecclesiastical overseer of Salzburg. Salieri furtively notices Mozart at the ecclesiastical overseer's castle. Off stage, Mozart is disrespectful and lustful. He additionally first perceives the monstrous ability showed in the grown-up works of Mozart. In 1781, when Mozart meets the sovereign, Salieri gives Mozart a walk of welcome, which he worked art plays it from memory, investigates it, and easily ad-libs a variety, changing Salieri's trifle into the non-puant dry walk from his 1786 drama The Marriage of Figaro. Salieri reels at the idea of God talking through the whimsical, snappish Mozart. By the by, he views his music as marvelous. Step by step, Salieri's confidence is shaken. He trusts that God, through Mozart's virtuoso, is mercilessly snickering at Salieri's own melodic average quality. Salieri's battles with God are intercut with scenes showing Mozart's own hardships with life in Vienna, pride at the underlying gathering of his music, outrage and doubt over his resulting treatment by the Italians of the sovereign's court, bliss with his significant other Constanza and his child Karl, and pain at the demise of his dad Leopold. Mozart turns out to be more frantic as the family's costs increment and his bonuses decline. At the point when Salieri learns of Mozart's monetary waterways, he sees his opportunity to vindicate himself, utilizing God's darling, the strict significance of Amadeus, as the instrument. Salieri hatches an intricate plot to acquire extreme triumph over Mozart and God. He camouflages himself in a dark veil and outfit like one he saw Leopold wear at a party, and commissions Mozart to compose a composition mass, giving him an initial investment and the commitment of a colossal total upon culmination. Mozart starts to compose the piece, the Memorial Mass in D minor, ignorant about the genuine character of his strange supporter and absent of his lethal aims. Overlooking any subtleties of how he could carry out the homicide, Salieri harps on the expectation of the reverence of his friends and the court, when they acclaim the eminent composition, and he professes to be the music's arranger. Just Salieri and God would know reality that Mozart composed his own composition mass, and that God could watch while Salieri at last gets the and the enchanted woodwind drive him to the place of fatigue as he substitutes work between the two pieces. Constanza leaves him and takes their child with her. His well-being declines and he implodes during the debut execution of the enchanted woodwind. Salieri brings the stricken Mozart back home and persuades him to deal with the composition. Mozart directs while Salieri deciphers as the night progressed. At the point when Constanza returns in the first part of the day, she arranges Salieri to leave. The composition is left incomplete, and Salieri is avoided feeble as Mozart's body is pulled with regard to Vienna for entombment in a poor person's mass grave during a rainstorm. The film closes as Salieri wraps up recapping his story to the apparently shaken youthful cleric. Salieri presumes that God killed Mozart as opposed to permit Salieri to partake in even an ounce of his brilliance, and that he is dispatched to be the supporter holy person of unremarkableness. Salieri jokingly exonerates the cleric his kindred patience as he is removed in his wheelchair. The last strong heard before the end credits roll is Mozart's piercing chuckling.